City Council meeting scheduled for 5 p.m. January 17th, 2023 will now come to order. Roll call.
Councillor Rousey.
Here.
Councillor Koivunen.
Here.
Councillor Purpich.
Here.
Councillor Lillis.
Here.
Mayor Vaisalovich.
Here. Approval of minutes, City Council workshop, December 19th. Approval of minutes, City Council meeting, December 20th. Approval of minutes, City Council meeting, January 5th, 2023. Anybody have any comments, changes, or additions? If not, I'll call for motion that we approve these minutes.
So moved.
Motion made by Rousey. We have a support.
Support.
Support by Purpich. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of tonight's agenda. It's kind of a short one tonight, everybody, but we have one addition here, and I'll call that item number 5. It's resignation from Nancy Pratt. And if no one has any objection, I would like to approve tonight's agenda with that addition.
So moved.
Motion made by Koivunen. We have a support.
Support.
Support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have no appointments or presentations. Consent agenda, approval of payrolls, December 16th through the 31st. No one has any questions or comments? Call for motion that we approve the payroll.
So move.
Motion made by Purpich. We have a support.
Support.
Support by Rousey. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. No public hearings. We have no unfinished business. We'll jump on to new business. Item 1, representation agreement between the City of Eveleth and Cosmo, Patchen and Kearney Limited. Our legal representation. Anybody have any questions?
Well, I just think that in his new position over there, sorry for the inconvenience.
Not a problem at all.
Anybody have any questions or comments? We got Joel from the firm here if you got any questions. If not, I'll call for a motion and we approve this agreement.
So moved.
Motion made by Rousey. We have a support.
I'll support.
Support by Purpich. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 2, lawful gambling application for exempt permit for Curl Masabi at the Range Recreation Civic Center. No one has any questions? Call for a motion that we approve this application.
So moved.
Made by Lillis. We have a support.
Support.
Support by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 3, lawful gambling application to conduct excluded bingo Knights of Columbus. And that is, well, we got a few different nights there, but looks like we're really getting into gambling business in Eveleth, eh? That's the bulk of the agenda.
Well, this is just further,
Yeah.
further bingo, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
If no one has any questions, call for a motion that we approve that application.
So moved. I'll second it.
Motion made by Purpich, supported by Rousey. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 4, lawful gambling application for exempt permit for Rock Ridge Youth Hockey.
Didn't we just do this not that long ago?
They changed the names.
What's that?
They changed the names of their.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anybody have any questions? Three quarters of the agenda was gambling permits. If not, a call for a motion that we approve that application.
So move.
Motion made by Purpich. We got a support.
Support.
Support by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 5, letter of resignation from Nancy Pratt from the Parks and Recreation Department due to her retirement. If no one has any questions or anything, I'll call for a motion that we accept Nancy's letter of resignation.
I'll approve that with a letter going to her, of course, as usual.
Yeah.
Okay. Support?
Motion made by Rousey, support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried. 5 after 5, and we finish the agenda. Boy, we're good, I'll tell you that. We're really good. I don't imagine anybody has any commission reports or anything since the last meeting.
Oh, we do.
You go.
Yes, we do. We had a EDA, right? Not HR, EDA. I don't want to make the same mistake I did last week. We're finalizing our pocket park plans and also the Lincoln Place parking lot and retaining wall. We did, the bids are going to go out for the Lincoln Place improvements. And then there's a little bit of blah, blah, blah on the pocket park, but I see we have a meeting next Monday. The time is yet to be determined. And then we'll finalize those things and we will put that out for bids also. Is that correct?
You are correct.
Okay. As far as, that's about all I have to report on that. Though I do have one more thing to say, and that's I want to give a shout out to the chief, to your guys. They're instrumental, they're wonderful when they come and help us on our medicals. It's not only good for us, it enhances patient care, makes, when nothing's shoveled, things are tight, unruly crowds, blah, 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 all of that type of stuff. Your guys are fantastic. And I know they can't come all the time, but when they do, it is simply marvelous. So you be sure to tell them that Johnny really appreciates them coming and helping us out. Thank you.
I think that goes without saying, the whole council appreciates that.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Perhaps the whole council isn't quite aware of their involvement like I am, because I go hand in hand with these guys.
Well, these rural police departments, the officers wear a lot of different hats, a lot of calls for a lot of things. And it really differs from the large metro areas, because basically, who do these people call? Somebody falls in the house, who do they call?
Well, wasn't it last spring when we had an officer in Vail take care of the pumping of some water for?
Yeah,
a guy that-
exactly, yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, we had a
it's
resident
well
here to thank.
appreciated.
I mean, you wear a lot of hats, boy, when you're in rural Minnesota in those jobs, because everything is so spread out that,
And everything is changing, and you never know what's gonna pop up.
You have no clue at 1:30 behind the bar what you run into. No clue. Come right along a couple times, Jimmy. I'll open your eyes up real wide.
I got a pretty good idea.
That's why I was speaking past you. You know the pain we feel.
So,
people don't realize what goes on, you know what I
No,
mean?
they
It's-
don't. Everything that happens in a big city happens here, just not as often. Simple as that. There, I'm done.
You're done?
I did my 5 minutes.
Well, John, that was worth listening to. I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
Joe, you got anything to?
Yeah, we had a golf commission meeting and we just have a few things to tie up and then we'll let you know exactly where we're at. And we had a rock board meeting and I didn't make it to that one, so I couldn't tell you what happened there.
Well, it's, to find parking there is something else. That place has been packed.
Yes. Lots of traffic up there, which is good.
Yeah, oh,
because,
that's why
you
it
know,
was built.
middle of summer, there's no traffic, so it's feast or famine up there.
Yeah. There's virtually, almost parking on the street there, looked like to me, you're almost to that point. That's how
You know, they get a
full it
lot
is.
of big venues up there and it really helps the club. You know, and it's,
And I see a lot of buses at the Hall of Fame too, when the teams come around.
yep.
Lots of them there.
Others, I got nothing else.
Jim, you got anything to?
I'd like to thank the city crew for doing that cleanup when we finally had a break. They really went to town and did a good job. I'm sorry that some people are inconsiderate about our guys working and putting our guys in jeopardy, not only our guys, but themselves around this big equipment. it goes without saying that we want everybody in town to be safe, and including our people that are working on the streets. But thanks, guys. Appreciate the effort, and I know you were out there today.
4 o'clock.
All over you guys were, and I really appreciate the work that we're doing, and keep it up. It's a lot. The winter's not over.
Oh. Anything else, Jim?
No, I'm good.
Brian, you got anything?
And once again, Councilor Rosie and I sit on the same board.
And I always get asked first, so.
You get the first digs. We will be having an HRA meeting next week, if I'm not mistaken.
18th.
And then Councilor Rosie mentioned that Monday we're gonna meet with the EDA and have hopefully some finishing plans on the pocket park. We had a public safety committee meeting scheduled for tomorrow, but due to unforeseen circumstances, we have to reschedule, and that'll probably come next week, so hopefully we'll have a report for the next meeting, I guess. We are having a little bit of an issue with regard to getting people to apply for a vacant police position, so if there's anyone out there that knows anyone that would like to make application to the city of Eveleth as a police patrol officer, we would welcome the application. That's all I had, Mayor.
Well, we're off to looks like a busy year with some of these projects. They're finally coming to fruition or getting to the point they're going to start moving along. Jackie, one question. Did we ever hear anything from the school on the titling on the junior high site? I see the school, the reason I mentioned it, I see they were plowing it out. I don't know if they need the parking
It's
or
in
what.
process, and Joel he can comment on it.
Yeah, Mayor, so the titling of that, the title company was unable to identify marketable title. So it's in the process of going through a quiet title action so that the city has marketable title to convey. That process will take a little bit of time to complete, but it is in the works.
Yeah, because I can imagine 100 years ago what they said. Yeah, you can build a school there. That was that. And they started digging a hole and putting the foundations in. Nobody cared for any legal description or anything.
They did, but we've been unable to identify or locate where it was actually about 120 years ago, and they were unable to locate. So
You go build over there and
yeah,
that's it.
It's such a nice piece of property, you know, that's,
it'll be well worth it.
because we had a lot of inquiries, you know, what was going to go there.
Would that be about the same time they moved the whole town from, they call Chicken Town this way, and from
Might have been.
the
but
old locations?
At that point, at that time, those schools were on the edge of town.
Right.
There's nothing there, it's not
yeah.
like now. That's why they want the schools, like, away from the center of town. But when that was built, that was on the edge of town
Yeah.
for many years. A lot of us remember the main highway, going down the main street. And the Virginia Main Street was the main highway. That's why the businesses were booming, you know, on the main streets in these towns. All the traffic. But I know the crew does a great job, but I don't think a lot of people realize that when they're doing their work, they got really restricted vision from that equipment. When they're doing their work, it's not like driving a car or a pickup where you can see. You just got limited. That's why they've got to either avoid them totally, turn up a street or whatever, or just stop and wait.
It's a good thing they're young so they can look behind them and see. When you get old, you just back up till you hit something.
Yeah, that's all.
This morning while I was out doing my yard, I mean, a Suburban, completely covered with snow, all windows, including the driver's side window, was covered with snow. Didn't even bother to clean it off, and went by my house at a I thought was a fairly fast rate of speed, but I mean, come on, people, clean.
They gotta get to the highway so it blows off.
Yeah.
That's the 60-mile-an-hour shanty, they call it.
You know, one thing I'd like to do when the weather gets better and this white stuff finally all goes is You know, I'd like to get we got some things going on in the community and get some community participation, have a meeting at the auditorium, because different towns, like, you got things out in, like, say, have a meeting out in West Eveleth at the community center, Leonis Community Center, because you got a lot of residents there, things. So they know the city can help them participate in some of these projects that people want to do. Because you see in other communities, and we can they might have some ideas, and with the city's help and community help, we can make some of these things happen. Because
Very much.
I think it's kind of a resource that we've overlooked, but they don't know too that the city can help with these projects too, which is a big part of it. Because you've got a lot of activity out there, a lot of families out in West Eveleth. A lot of actions and skating rinks out there and stuff, and the ball fields. But this spring, when the weather gets better, maybe we can organize some meetings at the auditorium, have one out there for everybody, get some ideas and some input, and get the community involved, that we can all work together as a team to do some of these things, because it works in other towns. Maybe we can do it here, because we can't think of everything here, the 5 of us. That's about all I've got, but I say you gotta compliment the city crew for what went on.
This is directed to the attorney about our blight ordinance. Has there been any action going forward on that with what Carl Sandberg had going? Do you know how that is panning out?
Yeah, I'll follow up with city administration on that. We'll let the council know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, these 2-3 cars sitting in the front yards with no wheels and stuff, that's gotta come to an end, you know? I mean, they've been sitting there all summer, that kind of stuff,
That might be okay in Hootersville, but
Yeah,
it's not too cool here.
you know, and it's the same culprits you've got for a lot of this stuff. When somebody sees them get away from it, you know, just fuels the problem. Chief, you got anything to bring up?
Nothing right there.
Jerry?
Just to mention quickly about the streets, tomorrow we're gonna get back on widening them out. Once we have all the streets in town widened out a little bit, then we'll start hitting the alleys. So it's gonna take a while still, but just so everybody knows, that's where we're at. And we did make a lot of progress when we didn't have snow for a while. Today we are back out plowing, so it'll be time. It's gonna take some time to get into the alleys, but go pretty fast when we get there, so.
You tell your boys that they saved quite a few rear or side view mirrors by widening those streets. Guaranteed.
Hey, do we have a rate schedule a price for ice time at the hip? Because
Yeah,
I've got some friends that are gonna be playing some youth hockey up here in some tournaments, and they wanted to skate in the hip for a couple hours. They're from Owatonna, and they were just wondering, I said, I have to probably get a hold of you and check with the management down there, Scott, see what kind of availability, because the weekends are usually pretty packed.
yeah, I'm doing most of the
Time-wise.
scheduling down there now, and I get a lot of calls from people out of the cities that are coming up here to do tournaments, and we've already, rented out the ice quite a bit for other teams coming up that just want to skate in there for an hour. So we have our rates. It depends on, if they're gonna come at 5, 6 o'clock, that's gonna be a higher rate than a Saturday morning, so.
That's what I was wondering, if there's some set rates, because I didn't know, because they're coming up for a game, then they're gonna go to the Hockey Hall of Fame, the big stick, and they wanted to skate in the hip just to say they skated there.
Every person that calls me and asks me how much, and I tell them, they just kind of chuckle and say, I'm not even gonna tell you what we pay, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So they don't care about what our fees are. They laugh at it.
Yeah, they want to skate there and get their pictures taken there on the ice, that they've been in that.
Especially the teams
Typical.
out of the cities, they pay quite a bit to skate.
Yeah.
So. But
good.
no, just have them give me a call and we'll try to schedule something, but it needs to be quite a ways out. Because we got scheduled going, I think, through the first week of February already, so. we're
We
pretty much scheduled going.
get a few up here who take that facility for granted, its history and the innovations it had, but it's a big deal to them when they come up from out of the area to say they skated in there and have their pictures, take a lot of that stuff for granted around here.
Well, you know that when you're out in California and you used to tell the waitress you're from Eveleth, and she says, "Oh, have you ever been in the Hippodrome?" California. You know, this isn't just a tri-state thing. This is nationwide.
No, that's right, the Hall of Fame too. You didn't think people hear about it, but they do. Anything else, Jer?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Alan, you got anything to add?
Nothing tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Joel?
Mayor and council, just on behalf of our firm, thank you for your vote of confidence to partner with us for another 3 years. As general counsel and with criminal prosecution, we consider it a real honor to continue to serve the city and the people of Eveleth. So thank you.
Well, you've been working with us for a lot of years, so it just makes it easy for us. We're familiar with the operation. Steph, you got anything to add tonight? Jackie?
I don't, thank you.
Since no one in the audience is standing up, I think we'll adjourn the meeting.